So I hope people have been listening to what I've been saying. I hope people have been paying attention to all these metrics that I've been referencing. The reason that Shiba Inu was in fact going to play out into this formation that we're seeing right now, because it was 100% correct. We're seeing the exact movement I've been talking about now for the past 2 weeks. And what's exciting is that Shib went on an explosive surge of about 20% yesterday. We almost got into our next levels of liquidity, even I think a little bit better than what I thought was going to happen. Now, many people are wondering, what got us to here? Where is Shib going to go next? And I want to talk about that and a few things that are changing in the market a little bit. So first and foremost, the things I've referenced time and time again, whales have been on the heavy buy. They've been accumulating along the way here as retail has gotten weak, and people were making mistakes and dumping their bags and saying, oh yeah, we're just dropping and dropping and dropping. This is why patience is important, right? People who are patient, they get rewarded in this market. That's the way it's always worked. It's the way it'll continue to work, right? Now, while this has been happening, we've seen that all this liquidity removed from the upside, right? Removed. All this Shiba Inu that's been available on exchanges is slowly but surely getting removed in a big way. And this makes it easier to move to the upside. So that's what we're now working our way through very, very easily, because people have been on the heavy buy and they don't want to sell. So they take it, they put it in the cold storage, and you don't see it on exchanges. So this stuff kind of working in conjunction, you just sometimes have to let play out. And that's what has played into this move here. Now, I will say that along this way here, especially these past 2 weeks, I've been spot on when it came to this, right? I talked about the rejection at the break box, the retest, rejection at the break box, the retest. And in fact, I talked about even this emergence into our break box on this next leg here. And I talked about one of two things happening from here, right? Either this shot up into these next levels here, or the possible rejection and coming back down here, testing either the bottom of this box or our support before our next leg. Shib is preparing for likely one of these two moves. Now, obviously, this is not a guarantee. This is not financial advice, but things are changing in the market just a little bit. When we look at Shib here, you guys can see that we did get this emergence overnight. We got almost all the way up to 4030. Very, very cool move. And we've had a lot of this move erased. And really what this has to do with is the broader crypto market just kind of showing some weakness. You guys can see BTC dropping, trying to come back down to its 20-day moving average here. You guys can see Ethereum showing some weakness as well. And what's interesting about this is there is a little bit of decorrelation going on, right? When we look across all these other assets in the space, you can start to see a little bit of green, all right? And these are some of those early signs of alt season. It shows that retail is getting a little restless in some of these other assets, and they're starting to move towards stuff that is a little more exciting, stuff that has a little more pop. And when you start to see that those bigger movements take place, that's when you start to see some retail outside the space flow in, which is kind of interesting. Now, when we look across the market in general, you guys can see that Shib is kind of on its own here. It's doing its own thing, right? 9.5% and nothing else really even close here. Actually, I bet you I got to refresh this because it looks like everything's kind of stuck. No, it's still on its own. And Shib is kind of I don't want to say a late bloomer in this sense, but it didn't make its move at the same time as everything else. And that's okay, because if you guys remember back here, Shib did the exact same thing. Most everything started kind of, I think, moving right about in here, or right down here. And then Shib finally made its move a few days later. That's kind of what we experienced, a little bit of a delayed fuse. So it's nice to see that this is playing out perfect, exactly as we discussed. And what I'm kind of curious to see about here is what institutional money does. Do they continue this buying? We're on the verge again of another big short squeeze, which I think I'll talk about in another video. There's a lot of shorts again that are sitting above here. It's like 9 billion in shorts that could be liquidated by the time we get to 74K in terms of BTC, which would mean big move for alts, big move for Shib. I mean, there's a lot of exciting things that are taking place. So be happy that if you've been listening to me, you've probably done quite well here. So I appreciate you guys as always. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I want to hear your thoughts about where we're headed next, but have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.